My son, I always tell him I think he's the best rabbi in the United States, but of course I'm prejudiced somewhat, but I do think he is really, he's got everything that it takes. He's compassionate, he's giving, he's caring, he's skillful, and he's very understanding. So I think and he's learned it, that's the main thing.
About 25 years ago, when my dear nephew Ilan, Rabbi Ilan, took the position in Atlanta, everyone was saying, oh, he's going to have a hard time filling his father's shoes. Because my brother, his father, did a phenomenal job in Atlanta, really transformed the entire level of Judaism in Atlanta. So he's going to have a hard time, my nephew's going to have a hard time filling his father's shoes. But 25 years later, I think it's quite apparent that he didn't just fill his father's shoes, he put on a new pair of shoes himself. He influenced and raised Atlanta to another level.
He approached a person with very affection, with so much affection, with love, friendship. He doesn't look down at you.
Everything that drives him is Avos Yisrael.
The message that he keeps on communicating from the pulpit about loving Jews and respecting where they come from, it's him. It's not a message that he's delivering, it's who he is, and that's why he's able to connect with people of all different backgrounds.
He allows for all kinds of growth in all kinds of areas that is run by other people, such as a kollel, for example, or other types of institutions. He does not micromanage. He's available for help and for chizuk in all areas. You feel constantly like there is that the Murda Asra wants you to succeed.
It is not about him. It is truly not about him. He is one of the most egoless persons I have ever met. And I live with him, so I ought to know. In our early years, when my husband was still the assistant rabbi, but we were here already a few years, and it can get very, very tough sometimes being in a rabbinic position. And my parents came to visit. So we were going through a tough time. And my father went outside to load up the car for going back to Baltimore. And I followed him outside, and he was bending over the trunk, putting things in, and I said to him, does it pay to stay in Rabbanus? Should we be doing this? Are we crazy? Are we doing the right thing? So my father, in his inimitable fashion, stands up, and I remember the view and the picture, and he stands up and he says, I don't know, but this I do know. Good Rabbanim are the light of Klal Yisrael. That was it. I didn't need to hear one more word. So, you asked me, what is it about my husband? What makes him special? What makes him a good rabbi? I honestly believe that he is one of those good rabbanim that my father was talking about. He is a light because he's reflecting the light of Torah, and that is the essence of who he is and what he wants to do. And there's no length to which he won't go in order to be that light.
His lifetime of acquiring wisdom gives him the ability to distill that wisdom and impart it on us in such deeply meaningful, personal ways.
As a little girl, it's like a famous story in my family that every time we would pass by Rabbi Feldman, whether it be in the street or in the store, I would point to him and say, that's my rabbi. So clearly as a little girl, I was filled with a sense of pride that he was my Rav and my leader. And even now, when I read an article or an editorial or something that's written in the Mishpacha or whatever he writes in, every once in a while I'll read it and I close it and I say, that's my rabbi. Still very proud.
He is a lot of fun. He's hilarious, he's sharp, he's refreshing, he's always finding a new angle and some new way of looking at things. He's able to size up situations with such a nuance and a wit that just makes every day fun, exciting, interesting, engaging, inspiring.
I've never left a meeting with Rabbi Feldman feeling heavy or down. I come in and I might be upset or something's up or what's going on. And I leave, I leave feeling so light.
A lot of the changes that have happened here in Atlanta, you can point squarely and directly at Rabbi Ilan Feldman, because certainly I wouldn't be here, the Kollel wouldn't be here. It was his initiative and it was his vision. And Torah Day School wouldn't be here, which was also his initiative and his vision.
To be here in Atlanta and be able to send our daughters to Tamima High School is a tremendous chus. It is one of the best in the country. I'm not an expert on high schools, but I've heard it from experts. It is one of the best in the country. And it's all Rabbi Feldman. She puts her heart and soul into it. The girls, she knows every girl. Every girl it grows. I see the growth year to year in my own daughters. Everything she does, everything she touches is successful.
When it was announced in shul that Ilan, he was engaged, a very well-meaning woman came up to me and said, "Oh, you poor thing, you're losing a son." Well, my reaction was, "Oh my God, that is so wrong. What I'm gaining is a daughter, and what a special one at that. Somebody really special, somebody beautiful and talented and personable and warm, and we're gaining a daughter."
I feel like everybody in the shul is my child, not in the sense that I'm bigger than them or I'm the adult and they're the child, just in the sense that I really deeply care for their welfare, and I see each of them as a really special person, the same way we look at our children, and I have to take care of them.
Mrs. Feldman worked unbelievably hard, helping all the girls develop their unique strengths and imbued us all with a sense of leadership and like this obligation towards Klal Yisrael.
She is an uncompromising expression of the truth, and she actually believes that people can rise to the highest levels of expectations in service of Hashem.
They love being Jewish and imparting whatever Judaism they can do to somebody else, for somebody else.
They are so normal. They are just down to earth, normal. They could be your friend. And when someone's like that, you feel like you can emulate them.
They're not worried about doing it a certain way because that's the way everyone does it. Rabbi Feldman, Mrs. Feldman, they do what's right. The Feldman's imprint is on every institution in this community.
The thing that really makes Rabbi and Rebbetzin Feldman successful is their dedication to the truth and to sharing what genuine Torah Judaism can be for all of us.
Authentic is the word that comes to mind. Their approach to Torah, their approach to Judaism, and I think also the way that they engage with their congregants.
They both, in their own way, created structures in this city that foster growth. They are visionaries. It is not just the personal relationship, even though it is the personal relationship, but it's the whole, the school, the shul, the community is an environment that fosters growth.
They're both very, very dedicated, very, very self-sacrificing, and very committed to the growth of individual Jews, to Yiddishkeit.
I don't think you can fully experience what it means to live in this community without having a relationship with Rabbi and Mrs. Feldman.
There's one thing that makes them unique is their accessibility. They're very plain-spoken, they're very approachable.
They both are children of Gedolei Yisrael and grew up in such incredible homes filled with light and filled with love and filled with leadership. And I think they both took that and really are shining on our community with it. So
what Rabbi Emanuel and Estelle and later Rabbi Ilan and Miriam were doing was restoring the dignity of Yiddishkeit to a place that was very respectful but totally not knowledgeable, totally ignorant of what was Yiddishkeit.
Growing up, a lot of the people that he affected, the families he affected, he was really helping them grow from a spiritual perspective. My parents were Baalei Tshuva. He was like our shepherd, and we were his flock, and our family grew tremendously under his guidance and leadership.
I actually dream that this community can become a model that will inspire other communities to try to emulate a form of religiosity that is original, that actually is open, that continues to be interested in the broader world and at the same time is meticulous and focused and diligent in Yiras Shamayim, in the fear of heaven.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu smiles upon Atlanta because of the Feldmans.